Okay, guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Okay, tuloy-tuloy lang daw, ang trend na nakikitang parami ng parami ang nakakakuha ng refusal sa mga kung ano-anong application ang inyong sinusumite ngayon sa IRCC, whether it is, an extension, ano man. So, ang episode natin ngayon, pag-uusapan natin, ano ang inyong options? What is the right strategy if you do end up receiving a refusal? Is it, dapat ba may pag-asa kang reconsideration muna? Or reapplication na ba talaga ang kailangan? Or talaga kailangan ba pumunta ng korte at mag-file nung tinatawag na petition for a judicial review? Okay? Naku, medyo iba-iba po kasi yan, So, there are different ways to appeal, kumbaga, your refusal. So, ang ating guest, nagbabalik, okay, ayan, si Dayanara M. Puerto Bandigue. Her email is going to be down there in just...
Thank you, Miss.
Ayan.
Thank you. Hello po.
So, yan. Reconsideration versus reapplication versus judicial review. I think it's very important for them, to assess first kung ano ang applicable in every case.
In every situation.
How do you do it?
I mean, technically po, Miss, all of these you can do.
Mhm.
Technically, all of these you can try should you get a refusal. Pero dun tayo muna sa judicial review because this is something I, as an immigration consultant, cannot handle myself. Okay? So if, let's say, nandun kayo sa point na nadaanan nyo na lahat, nagawa nyo na si reapplication, si reconsideration ilang beses na, and you think that you're really being treated unfairly, then that is where you go for a judicial review. Unahin ko lang siya kasi para, to clarify things. Dito niyo po kakailanganin ang tulong ni Attorney Jake, ni Attorney Lou, yan yung ating mga immigration lawyers. But you have to understand that there's a specific time for it. If you're inside Canada, I believe you're only given around 15 days to apply for a leave, L-E-A-V-E, para pag po kasi nag-grant yon ng court, yung leave, saka pa lang po kayo pwedeng mag-proceed to an official like oral hearing and stuff like that. So, 15 days pag nasa loob ng Canada and 60 days, I believe, pagka po nasa labas. Now, there's also the IRB, the Immigration and Refugee Board. Dito po pwede ako mag-practice because I'm an RCIC IRB. So, ito naman po ay yung para sa mostly for refugee cases and for refused spousal sponsorships.
Doon din ba ang refused spousal?
Pwede po yun.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. Pero, ang pwede lang po kasing magkaroon ng parang hearing sa isang IRB is those who are yung nagsisponsor. So, yung Canadian citizen or yung PR na nagsisponsor, for example, ng kanyang kamag-anak or kanyang asawa. Pero kung ikaw po ay foreign national, so for example, ikaw ay isang foreign national, nag-apply ka ng humanitarian and compassionate consideration, na-refuse. So, nag-reapply ka, na-refuse ulit. Dito papasok yung judicial review kasi hindi po kayo pwedeng pumunta sa IRB. Sa federal court po talaga ang punta ninyo. Yun ang pinagkaiba nila. Yan.
Wait, I'm curious, bakit sa IRB napupunta ang refused spousal sponsorship application?
That's how the law works, I believe. It's really how they parang ang ginawa po nila is siguro to manage the number of cases.
Okay.
Yeah, to manage the number of cases kasi in general, yung mga spousal pagka hindi siya nag-work sa IRB, pwede mo din naman siya talagang iakyat papunta ng federal court.
Nice.
Pero pwedeng dumaan ka muna doon siguro to manage like the caseload. Nag-institute sila ng isa pa like to help manage the case, especially for refugees kasi understand na Canada receives a lot of refugee applications. So there's that.
Let's be real, sa mga Pilipino hindi naman masyado pa uso itong
hindi po ito ganun kadali option para sa akin. I've actually only seen one case where this is done like successfully. This was for Lowell Minorca versus a certain religious group in the Philippines.
Nako. Abangan ninyo dahil nakaplano na yan sa mga susunod naming episode actually ni Attorney Lou.
Yeah, there's that one case that I've seen. Only one. Pero Attorney Lou will be able to provide you with more for that. Pero now, let's focus on I think reconsideration versus reapplication.
Yeah.
So with reconsideration, this can be done without submitting a whole new application. So
Mhm.
consideration can be done through the IRCC web form. So you will send them a letter, the IRCC through the IRCC web form, asking them to review the application. There are errors that if you believe that there are errors that were done, you can attach documents that you submitted already. For
Okay.
example, nag-submit kayo ng, for example, ang naging issue ay funding. For one of my clients, ang naging issue niya ay funding. But since I was the one who applied, I knew, alam ko na, funding should not be an issue. Kasi we submitted bank statements, we submitted notice of assessments, we submitted COEs, pay stubs, and they have a large amount of savings. So, paano nangyari na savings yung issue? Yun ang una ko naisip. So sabi ko, okay, sige, maybe we can file a reconsideration for this one. So we did. So we filed reconsideration through the IRCC web form, and they came back to us after a week, I think, saying na,
Mhm.
okay, we will be reversing or we will be
Oh,
reviewing this again. And they asked us for more documentation. So that can happen.
web form lang ito lahat ginagawa, Dayanara?
Web form po ang reconsideration. Yes
Okay,
po.
so those who don't have consultants, do you think they can easily do it? And ano ba, okay, kung walang consultant, no, how would they know
Mhm.
na, I think pwede ako sa reconsideration or at hindi kailangan
Mhm.
muna sa reapplication?
Mhm. If you see na let's say bumalik yung letter of refusal sa inyo and let's say finances pero alam mo nagpasa ka naman.
Mm,
So alam mo na may mali. Meron silang na-miss
okay.
sa application mo na kailangan nilang i-reconsider ulit. Isa rin pong difference would be understand na I think those who handle reconsideration are in Canada, and if you applied from the Philippines, maaaring ang mag-handle ng application mo is the Manila office. So kung nagkamali si Manila office, then pwedeng i-reconsider nung office na nasa Canada, like Ottawa.
Yeah,
Ganyan.
okay,
So sa
okay.
case nung client ko, Manila yung nag-refuse sa kanya, Ottawa yung nagre-review for
Yeah,
reconsideration. So that can happen.
okay.
Because understand that officers are humans too. So they make mistakes.
Yeah, I don't know
Diba?
also
So,
if you I don't know if you will agree. I've been reading some mga observations din na sa panahon ngayon, very common daw ang errors na nagagawa ng mga IRCC officers. I don't know kung bakit, pero yung
mhm,
mga basic things daw na nakakaligtaan yung mga, ayun, tulad ng sinabi ni Dayanara, no, nakakaligtaan yung mga documents submitted.
correct,
So, and these are causing refusals. Diba?
correct.
So, oo.
Be- because, I mean, the IRCC has laid off thousands of workers.
Yeah.
So they're experiencing a large number of applications na dumarating every day with a limited number of people who will assess them. It's bound to make they're bound to make mistakes. So all the more this time na when you submit your application, they have to be as perfect
Yeah.
as possible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure that you cover possible issues. Make sure na meron kayong letter of explanation for any possible issues that you may face. I
Yeah.
never submit applications without a submission letter written by me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's me writing to the visa officer, explaining na ito po yung mga issue at ito po yung solution namin. When I submit PR applications, I make sure I have like NOC matching, like minamatch ko yung NOC sa trabaho nila. Before siguro we can choose not to submit those, but
Mm-hmm.
now you can't. You have to make it as perfect as possible.
Oo, mahirap i-chat GPT ito, no? Kunyari DIY, magwe-web form sila sa reconsideration na Dayanara. Wala naman sila mapupuntahang template para dyan, di ba? Kumbaga dapat,
Opo.
oo eh, ang hirap, ano?
Opo. May mga cases po ako ng clients ko na hindi ko na sila nire-reconsideration. Kasi
Okay.
alam ko may problema talaga. So for example, may client na nagpasa sa akin ng ganito tapos sinabi ko, "Red flag 'to, ma'am. Gusto mo bang ituloy natin yung application kahit red flag ito?" So, alam niya, aware siya na sinabi ko na sa kanya na red flag ito. 'Pag bumalik yung application ng may mali, so hindi ko yun i-a-apply ng reconsideration kasi alam ko may mali. Alam
Tsaka
ko na
sinabi mo
hindi
na eh. Oo.
alam ko na hindi issue ng IRCC, hindi sila nagkulang sa assessment kaya ito may problema. Ito ay problema na nung papeles nung kliyente. So in that case, reapplication ang solusyon. Kapag alam natin na sa assessment natin, sa sarili natin, alam natin na meron talaga tayong pagkukulang, nag-take chance lang tayo, then reapplication is the way to go. Correct the errors that you have in your application and then reapply. Kumbaga, wag naman tayong maging magmaang-maangan na
Oo.
parang magpapanggap tayo na perpekto yung application natin, sila yung may mali. 'Pag alam natin na tayo ang may mali, go for reapplication. If we know that they probably made a mistake because we already submitted the documents that they're pertaining to in the refusal letter, reconsideration is worth a try.
Yan. Okay, so since naumpisahan mo na yung discussion sa reapplication,
Opo.
usually, sa clients mo, no, when do you end up filing a reapplication?
Um,
Sabi mo,
one
alam mo, sa totoo lang, I have a question about your
mm,
point earlier.
opo.
Parang you would submit an application na alam mong medyo sablay. And then, tapos kapag ano pala, refuse ng IRCC, tsaka ka mag-file naman ng another application, re-application, parang, di
Totoo
ba?
yan, miss. Totoo yan,
Oo.
miss. Because at the end of the day, we are client serving.
I
Immigration consultants serve the client. So, at the end of the day, we can provide them with advice. Pwede namin sabihin sa kanila na, oops, may problema ka dito, ma'am. Baka gusto mong itama ito bago tayo mag-apply. Pero pag
Yeah.
nag-insist yung client na, ma'am, wala na kaming oras, wala na kaming ibang option, ganyan. Baka naman mag-work, baka mag-work. Meron
Yeah.
silang Hail Mary, kumbaga.
Yeah.
Then it's up to us to still provide them the best service that we can. But meron akong laging cover your ass policy dyan.
Ah.
I always put everything in writing na you understand that this is an error. Do you understand that this is a red flag that I have pointed to you, that this can lead to your refusal and you still wish to proceed? If they
No?
magre-reply sila na yes, okay, I'm covered.
Yeah, yeah.
Because whatever
Okay.
happens, hindi nila ako pwedeng isuplong sa CICC na I advise them incorrectly sa kung ano yung dapat i-proceed.
Nice. Oh,
So,
good tip din yun, sa mga ibang RCIC pala, no? Tama.
yes, of course. Kasi
Cover your
kahit
bases.
natutunan ko yan nung call center agent pa ako na everything has to be noted, everything has to be, kung ano marinig mo, kung ano sinabi niya, note, 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 so that you cover your bases. So, walang magiging problema down the line kapag bumalik nga yung application with a refusal, ganyan. Plus, kasama rin po yan sa service agreement namin na if they provided us with a document that is fake or anything like that, we are covered again. And lumabas yun as misrepresentation, we are covered kasi we signed an agreement na we assume all documents sent to us are verified, legitimate, and all of that.
Yan. Okay. So ano ba ang mga dahilan kung bakit ka dapat mag-reapply? O sige, puntahan na natin to. At
Opo.
usually, anong common scenarios na naku po, kailangan mo
Mhm.
na lang mag-reapply? Wala kang
Mm,
hope for a recall.
it depends on the type of application that you're going for. If it is for a study permit application and ang refusal mo is purpose of visit, that can pertain to error in program. Mali yung program na pinili mo, hindi bagay sa background mo and all of that. If it's limited employment prospects, then that means the program that you are choosing does not lead to a good career for you when you go home to the Philippines. You have to resolve that. If it's limited funding, then that means baka may problema po sa funds. Baka merong bulk deposit na kailangan ninyong i-address. Baka merong yung pera pa lang sinambit mo, naka-invest. So, hindi pala pwede yon. Hindi po kasi, kailangan po kasi pag nagpakita kayo ng funding, yung pera po ay in cash. Hindi po ito nakatali sa isang money market or sa stocks or sa gold or anything like that. Has to be in cash. Baka po may issue doon. So for example, meron bang issue with immigration status in your country of residence? Isa yan. Madalas po yan nakikita ng mga taga-Dubai, taga-Kuwait,
Oh, I'm curious.
ganyan.
Paano? Sige. Ano usual
Paano
na
i-address yun?
sa
Yung
Dubai?
immigration status po ay very common issue kapag ang status mo sa bansa kung nasaan ka ay temporary. So let's say ikaw ay Pilipino, nakatira ka sa Dubai, temporary ka sa Dubai, gusto mong pumunta sa Canada as a tourist. So pwedeng sabihin sa'yo ng Abu Dhabi office, ng IRCC na, I don't think you are coming back to Dubai. Or pwede nilang sabihin niya, I don't think you're coming back to Dubai, kaya kita nire-refuse. Bakit nila sasabihin yun? It's because kadalasan ng mga trabahador sa Dubai or sa Kuwait, nakatali sila sa employer nila. So, pag umalis sila ng Dubai, there's no assurance na makakabalik sila kung hindi na sila tatanggapin ng employer nila.
Okay.
There's that. So, laging may takot ang Canada na baka kapagka wala na siyang balikan, hindi na siya makabalik ng Dubai, mag-stay siya sa Canada, mag-overstay siya. So, maging TNT siya. Laging may ganong fear kapagka po nag-a-assess ng temporary resident visa application.
Alright. So how do you assure the officer then that kunyari visitor visa lang naman, okay, na
Opo.
how do you assure them na hindi ako mag-overstay dyan sa ano ko?
Could be that you have family in Dubai who's
Okay.
remaining. Could be that you have a business in Dubai that you still need to manage and that business gives you the visa, meaning you don't have an employer. Could be that you have a contract na nagsistate na meron ka pang 2 years na nalalabi sa Dubai na kailangan mong i-honor. Those are things that you can definitely present. Do you have properties or, assets in Dubai that you have to come back to? Yeah.
So kanina, maganda yung explanation mo, the different refusal reasons kapag
Opo.
ikaw ay ma-reject niya bilang international student. How about for the other applications? Ano ba? Work permit extension, refuse, yung mga ganyan. When do they reapply? Or actually, kahit PR refusal mga ganun ba?
Yeah. Well, with PR refusal, miss, hindi kasi sila ganun kabilis magre-refuse ng PR. What I find is when it comes to PR, they're a little bit more lenient. They would usually send procedural fairness letters. So yung procedural fairness letters, parang binibigyan ka nila ng pagkakataon within 30 days na mag-respond sa kung ano yung issue na nakita nila sa application mo. They're not going to refuse you point blank, agad-agad, kapag PR. Pagka nangyari yun, agad-agad ay ni-refuse ka, I would say try for reconsideration, especially if may time pa naman plus minuscule lang yung dahilan. For example, maling document na na-upload sa maling tab, ganyan. Baka pwede pa. And then if not, then possibly judicial review.
Yeah.
Now, kasi ang PR, mahirap i-reapply.
Yeah. Actually,
Kadalasan-
madalas sa mga dinidiscuss kung yung federal court ruling, many of them involve PR refusal.
PR,
So, doon nga sila
na-
napupunta sa court, madalas siguro. No?
Mali yung pagkaka-assess ng officer.
Correct.
Ni-refuse niya kagad, hindi ka niya binigyan ng pagkakataon mag-respond, malakas yung kahit paano laban mo pagka judicial review. Pero kung let's say po na work permit extension, depende po kasi ito sa refusal. Marami po tayong mga kababayan na nag-extend ng work permit kahit hindi naman eligible.
Yeah.
Aminin natin yan. Marami tayong ganyan. Kapag ganyan ang nangyari, a reconsideration is a no-go. Because you know that
Yeah.
you made an error. Maswerte ka pa nga, hindi ka na misrepresent.
Yeah.
Buti na lang, di ba? Pero kung nagbago po ang sitwasyon ninyo, for example, ako ay may asawang PGWP applicant. Nung nag-apply kami ng asawa ko, in-apply niya ako ng open work permit kahit wala siyang eligible job. Okay? So, ang nangyari, na-refuse ako kasi wala nga siyang eligible job nung time na nag-apply kami. Pero, in a few weeks, nakahanap siya ng trabaho na eligible na siya. Pasok pa ako sa restoration, may 90 days pa. Pwede pa ako ngayon mag-reapply. Kasi may trabaho na yung asawa ko na eligible para sa akin. Those cases, specific cases, would be good for reapplication.
Ayun, no? Totoo yan, guys, sa mga nagpapa-extend ng stay, alam nyo naman yung ginagawa ninyo. At alam nyo na kung kayo ay ma-refuse. Likely, it's because wala ka ng dahilan para ma-extend.
Totoo. Marami po tayong mga kababayan na, ma'am, nakahanap na ako ng LMIA, pero out of status na ako ngayon. Anong gagawin ko? Ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, actually, the longer you stay in Canada na walang status, the harder it will become for you in the future. So, go home.
Yeah.
Go home. Diba? Kumbaga, hindi ka naman po expected na umuwi like the following day. Naiintindihan naman ng IRCC na kapag nawalan ka ng status, hindi ka naman talaga uuwi agad-agad. Siyempre, mag-aayos ka pa ng konting gamit mo, ganyan.
Yeah.
Pero kung 3 buwan na, out of status ka pa rin sa Canada, that's very questionable because it doesn't take that long. Ito, noon ko pa to naririnig nung nag-apply pa lang ako, 2019 naririnig ko na to. You have to look at your application as a sensible person. Does this make sense? Eto
Mhm.
bang amount ng pera na 'to, kung ikaw ay isang 18-year-old na merong 10 million sa account mo at hindi mo ipapaliwanag sa IRCC kung saan nanggaling si 10 million, siyempre that's not sensible. You have to look at your application sensibly, logically. Does this make sense to me?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't make sense and parang ang pinapagana na lang po natin ay ang ating, um, kumbaga determinasyon, eh, baka understand na babalik at babalik yung application ng refuse kasi it doesn't make sense. You
Yeah.
have to put yourself in their point of view din po ng mga visa officers.
Oh, ayan ah. Okay. Well, I hope this episode helps many people. Alam nyo naman, again tulad ng sinabi ko sa intro, panahon ngayon, napakarami pong nakakatanggap ng mga refusals. So I hope this episode helps you out in deciding kung ano ang inyong next step. As always, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Dayanara. If you want to
Thank
consult
you
with
so
her,
much, Miss, for this opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thanks, guys.
much.
We'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.